Happy Vlogmas Day 15, little dog who looks horrified but got a new ball. So he's actually just like a little pig with an arrow stuck in his mouth.
Merry Christmas!
Hi, hey, hello, good morning. I am choosing to be a healthy person who cares about my whatever I care about. And I'm walking to Target instead of driving, even though it would be more convenient to drive. But I'm not gonna work out today, so I'm just gonna go on a walk, and that's enough. But I'm also wearing the longest jeans of my life, which is cool, but they are definitely 90s disco jeans, and they are about to get so dirty because apparently these boots are not tall enough, and they keep catching, and maybe this is how I die. Hey, hello, it's me in many layers of fluff. I'm back, if you could not tell. I did get my shirt, the tag removed from it, so that's cool. I also picked up some stuff for lunch, so we'll make that in a little bit, although I'm just gonna make a salad that I'm pretty sure I've made on this channel probably 4 times. I have gotten some work done this morning, which has been cool. For me, but not so cool for you, because that means nothing has happened. But I thought I might share, because personally, I'm pretty proud of myself. Thor, I know you're proud of me too. Don't even huff at me. Don't even try. You're proud. You're proud of your mother. So my friend Andres, which I think, what day is tomorrow? We might be hanging out tomorrow, so you might actually meet him. IRL, if you will. But if not, don't quote me right now. But he is moving to Guatemala, and I'm like, sir. Because this is the problem, is that for my birthday, he was very, like, thoughtful and cute and, like, actually got me something. Like, he, like, put research and time into what he was gonna get me, and I was like, that's so nice of you. Because I didn't get him nothing for his birthday. When I went over to his house the other day, as soon as I walked in there, he was like, hold on, you gotta stay by the door! And was, like, yelling at me because he kind of like muttered something, like he was clearly moving gifts and like had to like cover things with like his coat because he's a man. That you've been to their apartments, you know. So I know he got me a Christmas present, and I'm like, how does one be thoughtful back? Thor, what are you doing? Come on, creature is up here. It's right there. What do you need other than this creature? Just come chill. Oh, you need that ball. We are not playing ball right now. I say as I reach for the ball. Okay, sorry, this is scattered, but anyways, there's also gonna be aggressive noises in the background. Welcome to owning a small raccoon. Anyways, what I'm trying to say in this extremely scattered struggle bus of a clip is, I was like, okay, what does one buy for someone who's moving to Guatemala? Like, I don't know when you'll be back. I don't know if you'll ever be back. And then I was talking to him and I was like, okay, so like, what do you want for Christmas? Because I knew my doom was coming. My doom that is having people that care about me and think of thoughtful things for me. And so I was like, okay, what do you, like, if one were to get you a gift, like, what would you want? And he gave me nothing. He was just like, I don't know, think about me. Like, figure it out. And I was like, or I'm gonna push you off the bridge. Anyway. Get violent when I'm confronted. So my point is, what do I know about this man? And what I think a good gift would be, I'm like, I'm just gonna pull a cliche and give you the gift of experiences. So got a couple websites that had like lists of activities and like things that you can book or like things that you can do in an area of Guatemala that I know that he's going to be in. That was the other problem, was it was a little hard because I was like, okay, I know for sure he said he was going to this one specific place. So like I've been trying to find things in that place, but I found like 4 or 5 options of like stuff that he could do. And I was like, obviously I don't want to book anything because I don't actually like know your dates or when you're going to be there or if you even want these things, you know, because also it's like, even if I book something for you, you still have to figure out how to get there and like, I don't know. So like, it's got to be worth it. But I figured it was thoughtful all the same to come up with a couple to just compile a list of options for him. So for his Christmas present, I've created him a PowerPoint. But I think this is a good idea, which looks like this. I was like, okay, I spent 20 minutes on this in Canva, so hell yeah, my Canva template brethren. But I was like, okay, you could go on this, like, I could get you a little bike, and then you could go around and you could go to get ice cream at this place. You could like go to this art gallery. Like I like plan kind of like a day if that's something that's of interest. And if it's, and I was like, here's images of the art gallery and the ice cream that you could be eating. Or there's like tours, they're guided tours for like these hot springs, which include all this nonsense. I have been putting pros and cons in here. The con for this one is that he would have to engage with other people, which for him is a struggle because he's an idiot. And then paragliding, I'm like, oh, that would be so fun, but also to do by yourself would be a struggle. And if you die, like, I would feel really bad, so don't do that. But I was like, there's this Airbnb that is literally just like a big glass house on the lake, and I was like, dude, I can't afford this whole thing, but I could split it with you, and like that might be a nice, like, I would want to. Actually, I'm just booking this for myself is what I'm saying. Or another option was like, there's these yoga classes that are like it's like on this thing, so it's like you were looking out at these mountains and like all this beautiful stuff and like all these doors open and stuff. As I wrote, it's yoga in a freaking forest overlook thing. The con is that I was like, I'm not really sure if he actually cares about this, but I know he does yoga. And I'm like, after traveling, taking like a local yoga class in Spain, like I think that'd be dope. And the last one is I was like, you can just pick, if there's something that he already has planned, I'll just pay for it. And then it's like you just have more money to do what you want when you're there. And the con is that I've done all this work if this is the one that he picks for absolutely no reason. So yeah, this is my entire PowerPoint. So what I'm gonna do is I've saved everything to my phone as like images. And then when we hang out, I'm gonna be like, hey, I have your present, and then I'm gonna explain my logic, and then we'll just go through the PowerPoint together, and I'll be like, now just pick whichever one you want, and then we'll just like figure out how to book it, but I'll just like pay for it. And then it's like I'm giving the gift of an experience. So what I'm saying is like I felt like I was pretty clever, and I feel like maybe I do just have a big ego, but I was like, damn dude, I'm kind of smart. I think it's a cute idea. If you also have people that are hard to shop for, or who like to travel a lot, or you know have an upcoming like, what is it called, vacation or trip, you can steal my idea, is what I'm saying. It's probably not that original, but I thought it was pretty original. You can do, like, I'm just saying, you also know Canva templates, get your little PowerPoint on. You can just send people images. Ira has gotten me like concert tickets before. He just like prints off the tickets. Like you could also do like some printing off of stuff. I don't know. I love an experience, you know? So hopefully this is a good idea. Let me know if you think it is. But I'm like, someone should do this for me, honestly. I'm an amazing friend. Well, now that I'm done hyping myself up, it's about 1 o'clock right now. I've had this very exciting Trader Joe's green juice and a protein bar, so I'm feeling a little peckish. I might just like wrap up this last little bit of work and figure out what else is happening today, because I'm a little bit concerned it won't be very much. I've air fried some zucchini, and while it was going, I put some lettuce, avocado, a little bit of feta, a hard-boiled egg or two, what else is in here, and some lentils in here. I'm going to dump the zucchini on it and then just top it with some fancy, fancy olive oil stores. Look one up near you. It is the move. This is like a local, I don't know what it's called, I just call it an olive oil store. I don't know. Maybe there is a real term, but they sell like much fancier olive oils and vinegars, and they're not like that much more than just going into a store and buying it, but they taste so delicious. So I'm going to use this lemon infused olive oil along with this white balsamic vinegar and just drizzle it on here, shake everything up, and watch some more Too Hot to Handle, which sounds like a lovely day. Oops! I did it again. I did not vlog. I instead took a nap, and then my friend Costanza called me, and then we FaceTimed for like 3 hours, and so I didn't edit Vlogmas, and also I didn't do any vlog for today, and now I have to go to work very soon. Hi, Vlogmas. I don't know if today's video is gonna get up, but it'll be up tomorrow. We'll see where the world takes us. Sorry. I haven't been able to talk to Constanza in forever. And so during the time that I was normally going to edit Vlogmas, she called and FaceTimed me, and that was like priorities. So I'm very sorry. But I will get this up. We will be there. Or yesterday's video up. It'll be very fun. I just gotta get it together. But if I get home from work early today, I will edit it for you. I just am closing tonight, so there's no way that's gonna happen. I did see a comment, so I hung up on Constanza with 10 minutes to spare before I have to be clocked into my job. We got time, it's fine. Someone asked if I could do a tutorial on the braids that I had on the other day. So I was gonna wear pigtails, because I thought that they were cute, but I'll just do it a different day, especially when my hair is clean. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. So this is what I do, folks. I think this works best on gross hair. Then everything kind of slicks, there's a little bit more texture to everything, you know? What I like to do is use a little hair oil, not because it actually benefits the braids, but just because your hair is like in braids. I feel like it's a good time to kind of, it's a very like protective hairstyle. So I like to just put a little bit. This is from Pros. I've got coupons or whatever, discount code, like a coupon. She is a Midwest mom. What I do is I part my hair down the middle. I slick everything back and split it into two. Once your hair is in two, you're gonna take this chunk, whichever chunk you prefer, and you're going to split that in two. Oh, that was a bad splitting. We're gonna split it in two so that you have even chunks. Once you have two of these chunks, all we're doing really is a fishtail braid, which is very easy. So you're gonna take a tiny piece from one side, so like you have chunk one and chunk two. Take a piece from the outside of chunk one and just cross it over to chunk two. Then from chunk two, take a piece from the outside, cross it over to the inside. So you're just going back and forth like that, taking a piece, crossing it over. So at all times you only have two pieces of hair, if that makes sense. It's just that you're taking a piece from that and crossing it over. And so what you're doing is you're braiding your hair. At first you're gonna be like, this doesn't look good, and it will. Like it's gonna come together. I think this is honestly an easier braid to do than any of the other ones, and it looks a lot fancier, but it's like very hard to mess up because again, all you are doing is taking a piece from the outside, crossing it to the other chunk. Take a piece from the outside, cross it to the other chunk. And as you're and just make sure that obviously like you're crossing it in front, because this is what's gonna start making the braid. So the smaller the piece is that you take from each side when you cross, the better this looks in the end. But the smaller the piece is that you take, the longer this takes. So I am taking small-ish pieces right now, as I am in a little bit of a hurry. But as you will see, even if you are taking medium-sized pieces like this, I'd say they're medium small though, they're not that big. But even if you are taking pieces, it still looks good. So I'm just going to really quickly finish this. Once you get to the end, just depending on how like thick your hair is towards the end, mine gets a little thin, hello. Sometimes what I like to do is just finish it off with a normal braid. Braid the last little bit like normal, and then tie it off. And nobody knows the difference. And also it saves you a little bit of time when you're in a rush. And then a very key and important step is you just wanna go through and break the braid up, because then you can see more of the detail and the fishtailness. So you can see up here where I start, like these were clearly bigger pieces that I was pulling across. So there's a little bit less detail. So that's what I mean when I say I think it looks better when the pieces are smaller, because the smaller the pieces, the more like intricate it gets basically. But what I like to do is I'll do that with my hair, and then I'll just pull out a couple face framing pieces, if you will. Sorry, I'm just so tall, and my towel isn't. I do not have time to curl it today, and I don't care. It's a Wednesday. I didn't put mascara on. I'm just gonna look like how I'm gonna look at work. But I pull a couple pieces out of my bangs and just kind of give them a little curl and call it a day. And that, I will tell you, is the tutorial. So I think I'm probably gonna end the vlog here pretty soon as I finish braiding my hair. But I was going to say, I don't know if anybody cares, but if it impacts your life, I was talking to Costanza, and I haven't been able to talk to her in a hot minute, and at one point she was like, I was talking to her about working and like me being back in restaurants and blah 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 blah, and I was like, I feel good about it because for a while going back to restaurants I did kind of feel like away, which I've talked about on here before, so we don't need to re-go over it, but I was definitely like a little hesitant to get back into it. And I was telling her, obviously now I've been doing it for a couple months, and she was like, the thing is though, is like, you seem a lot happier being back in restaurants. And I was like, yeah, I am. And like, that's what's so stupid is I feel like before I just had like a lot of things that I feel like others kind of, I'm not trying to blame anybody else, that's not what I'm getting at all, but I feel like there was just like other opinions or like ideas and stuff that I kind of just like carried with me, and it impacted my own choices, especially about like going back into work. It was just like, oh, I shouldn't go back to being a server because this person thinks this, that, the other thing, or whatever it was. And I'm like, I don't know. I think for a while I kind of just moved out here and was working from home, and for me it didn't seem like I was being introverted because I still had like, I'm very fortunate that I've been able to make a lot of friends and I still was doing stuff, but for the most part, like working from home, it was just like me and a computer, or just like me and one other person that I was working with, or even if I was going on jobs, it was just with the one. Like, I don't know, it took me getting back into restaurants to realize that I'm like, oh, I just am kind of an extroverted human being that does like, since being back in restaurants, I'm like, I want to do more stuff, and like I want to meet more people, and I want to like have all these things, and like I'm like, oh, that really is like a big part of my personality that I feel like for the last couple of years has just like, not like it was hidden, but I'm like, I don't know, just because of the jobs that I was working, I just wasn't really able to do it as much. And that's what I mean. Obviously I am who I am, like I was still going out with friends and I was doing all kinds of stuff like that, but I don't really know. I don't know how to explain this well, but I think you know what I mean. I'm like, what I'm trying to get at is, dude, just do whatever you want. Like, everybody's opinions can deal. And I'm like, I don't know. I just like always was like so afraid, and that's something that I felt like was kind of put into my head of being like a career server, or of like not having a plan, or not having all this stuff worked out. And like that was terrifying to me because I was like, what happens if I'm older and like I can't do it anymore? Like, there's nothing wrong with being a career server also, just so that's very clear, but I'm like, you do just like hit an age where you're like, my body doesn't want to keep doing this, and then it's hard, and what do you do from there? And I was like, I don't know, I feel like just the older I've gotten, I'm like, dude, we can all be dead in like 5 years, so who cares? Like, why? Who cares? But obviously the goal is to not be, so yeah, planning makes sense, but I'm also like, I don't know, I'll just figure it out. But at least for like right now, I do feel like I'm happier. I'm like in a lot of areas of my life, and I'm like, and it's cool. I feel like I have a lot more like drive to do things, and it feels good just like being on a path that like I actually am looking forward to and I care about. And I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I would rather feel like that than feel secure, if that makes sense. And obviously I know it's a very common thing to say of like, you know, usually like what you want is on the other side of fear, or like you just need to walk towards it, or like all these very things that you've heard before is all that I'm getting at. But I'm also kind of like, they say it because it's true. I'm like, what I'm getting at is the thing that I think that you should do today is something that you're afraid of. Just do it. Who cares? What's the worst that could happen? It'll be freaking fine. You'll learn. Like, the worst thing that can happen is like you'll learn from it and you'll be stronger, and then you'll move on. It'll be Gucci, dude. It just might suck for a little while. I'm not saying that's not on the table, but I believe in you. I think it'll be cool. So go do something that makes you feel afraid. Also, go braid your hair. Unless you don't have any hair, then braid your dog's hair, or do whatever you want. Do your dishes, I don't care. But I'm gonna run off to work. with my freshly braided hair. So I hope that you liked this amazing tutorial and vlog. Go do those things. Thank you all very much. I appreciate all of you for watching, for being here. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.